USA will play at 3:10 today. Jeremy and Joe, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Joining us on the Western Hotline is a former Olympian, David Leggio. Played with the Americans at the Olympics in South Korea back in 2014. He joins us on the Western Hotline. David, good morning. Jeremy and Joe, how are you today?
Good morning, guys. How you doing? Doing great. Thanks for having me on.
We're good. We got your buddy Owen Parker here as well. He brings you on.
Owen, how are you, buddy?
Doing good, Dave. How are you, my friend?
Nervous?
Oh, nervous.
What are you nervous about?
Come on.
More nervous than going to the Olympics?
Yeah, you've been to big stages before.
Yeah. No, I mean, wow, what an intro you guys had for the game tonight. I'm jacked up. I might actually exercise today after hearing that. I think we got the toughest draw. I think that's obvious, and it's going to be a great game. So looking forward to it.
Sweden today, 3:10. How much have you been watching? Is it every game, the American games, David? How much have you had a chance to watch so far this tournament?
As much as I can, and then trying to go back and maybe watch some highlights or some games. I would say some of the teams that maybe don't have, aren't loaded with NHL talent like Canada and the U.S., obviously watching all the U.S. games. Germany obviously played there for a while and have a few friends in the team, and Denmark and a few friends. So just trying to kind of watch everything, but not as much as I would like, but, a decent amount. So I actually got up early today and watched some of the Germany Slovakia game while I was getting some work done. So it's been a great tournament. I mean, I've been really impressed with some of the teams that don't have the big name talent, just the level of play. I think you can see how far hockey's come since, I was a kid.
Yeah, the competitiveness has been better. When you got Italy and France playing in games that have you still watching into the third period, I feel like that's about as good as you can do when, again, there's some of these teams that don't have any NHL players.
Right, and I don't know if, for example, I had a friend I played with in Hershey that got his citizenship and has played in Bolzano for a while, so Gaisley, so he was on the team, and really cool experience for him. And I know some guys in the past, Buffalo guy got to do that, back when they hosted last time. But I don't know what happened to that goalie. I think it was against Sweden. I think he had 58 saves through 2 periods. I think they put him out due to exhaustion, but maybe he pulled a muscle. I don't know. But I think they had a pretty respectable showing for, what they had talent-wise,
Yeah, Damian Clara in that tournament. The goaltending in this tournament, I want to talk a little bit about that with you, obviously. How tough is it to guess at what these guys are going to do? I mean, like Binnington is one of these where he's not good in the NHL this year statistically, and then he shows up to a short tournament and it could be totally different. Or on the other end, like Grubauer for Germany. He had some struggles today, great season in the NHL, but again, kind of tough to predict when it's only, 5-6 games?
Yeah, and I mean, historically, these, World Championships, Olympics, some of these teams that are good enough to get by with exceptional goaltending. And I want to say U.S. in the World Championship, who did we beat in the finals? But it went to overtime. Was it Switzerland?
Switzerland.
Yeah, and the Switzerland seems to always have this penchant for a guy just going off in these national tournaments. It's interesting. I mean, I think it played itself out for U.S. I know they gave Swayman a look, and I don't really, he let that one goal, and that was from far away, and they've since changed the coloring of the boards. I've had that happen to me. I'm sure every player's have lost a puck before. Unfortunately, sometimes it ends up in your net at the Olympics, and I don't know, did they announce who's starting for Canada yet? I didn't see if it's Thompson or Binnington.
I've not seen an announcement yet.
I think it's probably going to be Binnington, though, it seems.
The way I look at it is, for the majority of these teams, all these goaltenders are capable, right? So you're trying to find the right one. And I think that in these short tournaments, it's not like you're playing with these guys all the time. And a lot of playing goal is reading coverages and trusting your teammates. So obviously you just have to go with the feel with, who you think will get the job done and maybe who you feel the guys would like to see in there, because I think that's a big part too. But, for the U.S., obviously they have an embarrassment of riches. For Canada, I think they have 3 good guys. You can make a case for all of them. Obviously, Benner has not had the best year, but he's also not playing for St. Louis right now. He's playing for a Stat Canada team. So it'll be interesting to see
To that point about reading coverages, David, how complex do systems get? Can they even afford to get in tournaments like this? And how different do you think the tournament would actually be if they had, more time to play together, work together? Because you're just, you're throwing together these super talented squads and saying, good luck, here we go, 3 games to get ready and knockout stage.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you take U.S. and Canada, for example, the players are amazing, right? Like, the very best of the best. I think they're able to adapt pretty quickly. And especially at the pro level, it's not like you spend a ton of time on forechecks in neutral zone in practice. A little bit, guys are able to make, changes on the fly in between periods. However, the strength I think you're seeing of these European clubs that don't have all the NHL players, they play together throughout the summer and the season. You get national breaks every 2 or 3 months, and you come together for a week. So, Germany, Denmark, Czech, Switzerland, the big bulk of those guys are playing together. Like, Germany's a good example. So you got a bunch of guys that get to play together throughout the year. They understand their systems and their team play. Now you throw in Stützle, Draisaitl, Peterka, etc. It's pretty nice. So, as far as the goaltending is concerned, though, yeah, I think understanding coverages, PK, D-zone, how that works. But something as little as you get in overtime and there's a 2-on-1, and you're not used to playing with this defenseman, and maybe you're expecting him to come over to the strong side and take away that space a little bit more. Maybe you misread your partner who you're only playing with for this week. He shades more to the weak side. Now the puck carrier has a little more space and you're flat-footed. That's just kind of an example of how that could play into a tournament like this. It could play into the NHL too, but there's so much communication throughout the year that if that play happens once in practice, for example, you're going to have to maybe talk to your D and try to talk it out. So when you get in the game, you're on the same page and you're able to make those quick changes on the fly.
So you're on the 2018 U.S. team that's in Pyeongchang at the Olympics. What's the village like?
I mean, it's pretty cool. It's just, I don't know, it's almost like you're back in college again. It's, it's dorms, basically. That's how Korea was. And you got the cafeteria, and you got some hangout areas, and in your, in the USA, in our building, it was all the arena sports. All the ski sports were about an hour away in Pyeongchang. We were in Gangwon, so, we had the curlers, we had the speed skaters, we had the figure skaters. Hope I'm not forgetting anyone, but so it was cool. You there would be a room downstairs in our building where you can go do Normatex, some recovery options, some snacks, a lot of Uncrustables, and maybe you're talking with some of the women's team or some of the curlers are the best. I forgot his full name, Hams Curl. They had different preparation than we did. But it was really cool to kind of talk to everybody and get to know other sports and how they train and what they do. And then there's some little cool things you can do. But it's a really cool experience. It's unlike anything I've had. I guess like I said, compared to college and the setup, but you kind of have everything right there. And then if you want to venture out, you go try to go see events or
Matt Hamilton is Hams Curl. That's your guy.
Hammer.
Matt Hamilton.
Yeah, I think they won gold. They were awesome. We had these big onesies, and it was you're wearing a cabin. They would wear them around with their big Oakley glasses. They were animals.
I would think that maybe the hockey players would have a right to be a little jealous of some of the other athletes, just because, David, on timeline, you're playing until the end of the games, and if you're someone that had an event go in the first 3 days, 5 days, and then you're done, you just get to hang out and do what you want. Is that right?
Yeah, I didn't get to stay for closing ceremonies, but that's what a lot of the other athletes that have been there for a while said. That's kind of the big party is closing ceremonies. And then, as the games go on, I think more people are going out to the different houses and doing more events. But obviously in the beginning, everyone's training and competing. So I think for the most part, some of those athletes stick around and do hang out and have a good time until closing. But I know some of the athletes had to go as well. So I don't know. We were lucky with our timeline. Unfortunately, my season in Germany was kicking back up before the end of the closing ceremony, so I had to go.
You got a pick for tonight?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think U.S. is the
Gonna get it
team.
done?
I mean, yeah. On paper, I think we're superior, but it's hockey, and in a one game, you never know. I mean, I'd be curious what you guys think. For me, it's you get over there, you're a little jet lagged. You get accustomed to everybody. You're playing together, figuring out line combos. But obviously, we haven't been tested like Sweden has with the game against Finland. So
that's right. The thing
that will also.
Yeah, the thing, David, I think about this U.S. team so far is they look like they need like 10 minutes to wake up every game. And hopefully, I'd imagine that today that won't be that way because it is a knockout stage game. But it looks like they've needed a little bit of like a ramp-up time so far.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, who knows why that might be. But I don't know. I mean, I hope they feel good with their combos now, and they're used to playing with each other. Obviously, I mean, this is one of the most talented teams I can remember that the U.S. has had, and probably the best odds we've had in the Olympics ever. So it's really exciting. I'm looking forward to watching it with family, and hopefully we're talking about the semifinal game, tonight.
David Leggio on the Western Hotline. David, thanks very much. Enjoy the game.
Thanks, guys. You too. Take care.
All right. David Leggio on the Olympic experience.